Hello, hello. Welcome to Anime Anonymous. I am CJ.
And this is Ace.
And this week we are feeding your addiction with a very short named anime. Just kidding. It was Banished from the Hero's Party. I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. That tells you basically a lot of the story right there. Main hero, Gideon, who changes his name to Red, gets banished from the Hero's Party.
Yep.
And decides to go live on the countryside and make an apothecary. But we will get more into depth with that soon. Before all that, make sure you follow us on Instagram, XAnimeAnonymous. Twitter is XAnimeAnonymous.
Audius, Anime Anonymous.
And then if you want to email us, xanimeanonymousx@gmail.com. So jumping in, this anime, which will just be referred to as Banished, Banished Party. We'll see that, or
Banished from the Hero's Party.
Yeah, Banished from the Hero's Party. That's too long for me. Banished Hero. That's what I'm gonna say because I'm lazy. This came out in December of 2021. I had heard good things about it, and I want to say one of my friends recommended it to me. But I had so much going on in real world that I really didn't have time for anime at all. So this has been on my to-watch list. And just a quick thought on it. I really enjoyed this anime. Ace and I were talking about it earlier. And
yeah, sorry guys. We try we try to wait, but sometimes it's too good.
It's fine. Freaking Jack and Rick, they say they text each other while they're even watching it. So,
man.
So it is what it is. Especially since we work together. We're not gonna not talk about hey, don't talk about it. No. Wait for the podcast.
Well, sometimes you give some great key points.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And then you forgot what thought, and I'm like, bro, remember? And it was too late. You already posted it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it happens.
But yeah, we got into it, and one of the things I really enjoyed about this anime is it hits a lot of different genres. Which I don't like. If you look it up, it only says fantasy and slice of life. Like. This has action. This has romance, adventure. I will agree kind of with the slice of life because you see different quote-unquote slices of individuals. Mm-hmm. So it just fantasy and slice of life really doesn't cover everything. And it knocks those out the park. Like it gives a full-fledged feeling of romance, full-fledged of comedy, full-fledged of action, etc. So that was one of the things. It felt like a really well-rounded anime for me. What about you?
No, I completely agree. We were definitely talking about this earlier. It literally hits every single category like perfectly. For 13 episodes, or maybe 12.
No, you're right. 13. 13.
I'm like, I wish it was more. But they just fleshed out everything so well. Yeah. When I got to the 10th episode, I thought that was the last episode. And I got nervous, and I'm like, "Please don't leave me on this what's it called?
Like a cliffhanger."
Yeah, cliffhanger. And I was like getting kind of nervous. I had to like exit out of the full screen. I'm like, "Oh, thank God, it's three more episodes left." But nah, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I definitely found myself just clicking next, like to the next episode. The only other thing I want to I did check out the intro of the song.
Oh yeah.
That is a vibe.
So that was one thing that we talked about. I was like, that's one thing I know Ace does a lot. Which, granted, I do it a lot too. But I generally let the opening and ending of an anime play through fully once. But I actually let this one play through a couple of times because it was just a vibe. Like, it was so chill. The melody and the singing voice, it's just like, I described it as like a lo-fi or lofi.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
I say lo-fi, but
yeah, it sounded like a
is.
lo-fi. Like, I was, if that's not on a lo-fi playlist, I'm gonna be so surprised. Like, it is just a vibe. Like, I was so chill and happy listening to it. So yeah, I'm glad you checked it out.
Yeah, I think the reason I do is one, I'm scared that it's going to give me too much information. Excuse me. Too much information too early.
I feel that.
And then I like the process of going through the whole episode. And I actually may intentionally go through the whole series, then go watch the intro and the end. And
but
get
you
the
do
full...
have animes where they totally throw you for a loop, like Jujutsu Kaisen. There's a kid in the opening, and you're like, oh, he's a main character. Nope. You're just like, wait, he was in the opening.
And then, but so I'm a big One Piece fan.
Yeah.
If you watch a One Piece intro, it's telling you exactly what's
this
going
is
to
the arc
happen.
we're going through. Yeah,
and I'm like, why are you spoiling this? So, yeah, that's kind of why I've been skipping the intros.
That's like the old school type openings, though. I mean, Bleach did that. Naruto did that.
Dragon Ball.
Like they tell you the next arc that's coming in the thing. Sword Art did that.
And I'm like, slow down. I don't need all this preview. I'm good. Y'all established yourselves well enough where I will be consistent and finish the series.
Yeah. So jumping kind of to the beginning, and then we'll jump around like we usually do. Just the beginning is such a paramount point, though. So the anime really starts with Gideon, the main character, getting called out to the balcony by Ares, who is the mage for the hero party. And he puts up this barrier, and he gives him like a copper sword, something like that. It's like a crappy sword.
Yeah.
A bronze. It's a bronze sword.
Bronze. Yep.
So he's like cut through he tells Gideon. I keep wanting to call him Red.
I mean, they're same person.
Yeah. He later changes his name to Red. So Gideon tries to cut the barrier and can't. And Ares is like, man. Even there's so many ways to get around this barrier. Like even a normal warrior could, yada yada yada. You are a detriment to this party. You've and then like he like backhand compliments him. He was like, you know, you were really good at the beginning, but now we've all outgrown you, and you're useless. You're a liability. The hero, which the hero is Gideon's sister.
Right.
The hero had Rudy. The hero had to save you last battle. We can't have that stuff happening. Blah, blah, blah. So it kind of... And the thing is, like, the main character is a very emotional character in kind of the best sense of the word. So that actually kind of makes him be manipulated. So he knows the limits of his own blessings. So blessings, everybody gets blessings in this anime. It doesn't matter if you're poor, rich. They actually go into depth about that. Doesn't matter if you're rich, you won't get an amazing blessing. You might get a poor one. Some poor people have gotten like mage, war chief, like all these high ranking ones. It's just a random boost that the god of this anime just hands out to people.
And some of the rich get like thief.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Brawler.
And it's the thing about blessings is when you unlock your blessing, it makes you more attuned to that. So, for instance, if you are a thief, you all of a sudden want to really steal things. And
become the best at it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how you like level up or something?
Well, no. So it technically makes you understand your blessing more, but the only way for you to level up your blessing is to kill someone, and their blessing has to be higher than yours. So the reason, that last part, the reason, at first I thought it was just kill somebody with a blessing, because that's what Red says.
Right.
But then later on, when we have like this, the contract demon was talking to Rudy. He was like, the reason you can't really level up right now, it's because her blessing skill is so high. So all the people that she's killing, their blessings, they could be high, but they're not higher than hers. So she's not leveling up. So I was like, oh, so not only do you need to kill somebody with a blessing, they have to be higher. And like, it could be like a doctor. Like your blessing could be doctor. You still have to kill somebody to max it. Like, that's messed up. Like, it's such an interesting idea for like a power scaling kind of thing.
Yeah, and I thought that's why. So initially, I thought this was an isekai. I thought this was like a video game type situation where you have to kill to level up and get better at your blessing. But then we talked about it earlier. This is their real world.
Yeah, that's their real world.
Me off.
Which, after we talked about it, it made me think of an anime called Plunderer.
I think I've seen that.
Where the god of that area gives everybody like a mission and like stars, and whenever your stars get to 0, you like get dragged to the underworld. Some people, it's just random things. Like one, she has to get good reviews on her food. One, however many kilometers she walks, she gets a star. Like, it's just weird stuff like that. But yeah, the blessing kind of thought process in this anime is twofold. Because at first you're like, oh, these are quote unquote blessings. But then you think of the hero, which Ace and I were talking about later. Like, the hero makes her invulnerable. But, well, almost invulnerable. But that means to everything. She doesn't sleep because her body doesn't need to sleep. She can't eat because her body doesn't need to eat. She can eat, so it's not that she can't eat. She doesn't need to eat.
Yeah, she just doesn't enjoy it.
Yeah, she doesn't eat because she can't taste. Because anything that is not to deal with fighting or life and death stuff is purged. Right. So she doesn't feel heat and cold. She doesn't have emotions. Like, all these things. And you're like, dang.
This makes being a hero sucks.
Like, it sucks. And everybody is always scared of her because she unwittingly or unintentionally, there we go, that was the word, puts off this strong aura. Yeah. And it scares people. And it's like, dude,
but that's what it's supposed to do for enemies.
It is, yeah, exactly.
She can't turn it off.
And like, the thing is, like, what's his name says it, Red says it. He's like, people see her as the hero, and she has the weight of the world on her. You still have to remember, she's a 17-year-old girl. And you're like, lonely, ostracized, having to fight the demon army basically by yourself. That is tough.
Yeah.
And there's a moment in the anime where she actually does get this kind of like this drug that suppresses your blessing. So even though she has like a legendary or divine, I think it's called, blessing, she doesn't get the negative part, which was like you want to kill people. The curse doesn't activate, but it does suppress her blessing enough that she does show a little bit of emotion. And when she does have that little bit of emotion, she is literally broken. And you're just like, I feel so bad for this chick.
Yeah.
Like, at first, the whole, like, until that happened, the whole anime, I'm like, bro, this chick has no personality. I'm not really a fan. She's so deadpan. And then you're like,
that's why
I feel so bad for her now. So, like, she's not even really a main character. You may think she's a main character because she's a main character's sister, but she's really not a main character. She's barely in the anime, if you think of it. It's a lot of little one-off scenes with her.
Yeah, I always thought Red was the main character.
Yeah, he is. Okay. But like, her growth in this is so good.
It's amazing.
It is so good, man. Like, I love it. And this anime turns a lot of things on its head. This is not, in general, an overpowered main character. He, to maybe normal people, is strong. Like he's strong.
Right.
But Rit, admittedly, is probably not that far off of him. And we spoke about this earlier, but so everybody in the hero party, well, every blessing has its name, but there's certain ones for the hero party. You have the guide, the mage, the
fighter.
The fighter, you had like the spear chick. I can't remember what the spear chick was.
You talking about Yorandra?
No. The one that has a spear that
Theodora?
Yeah, her. I can't remember what her blessing was. But you have these archetypes for the hero party. Right? Yeah, it was something. Well, he was a knight too, but his blessing is the guide. Oh, so the guide's blessing is very interesting. It starts off maxed. So he doesn't have to kill people to level it up, right? It basically starts off maxed. So when he's younger, he is protecting the hero. So he starts off OD. Like he's one-shotting some of these monsters, and he's like a kid. But the issue is he can technically level it up, but it takes forever. So by the time, and it's done that way on purpose because he's just supposed to be the guide. So he's supposed to take the hero and the hero party until they can
be self-sufficient,
and they pass him, and that's it. His job is done. He was just a guide. And that's what Ares uses against him, because he knew he was a guide, and he was like, oh, well, that's true. All of them are way past me now. They're like level 50-something. I'm 40. Like, yeah, I'm getting wrecked. And then he, quote-unquote, leaves of his own accord. But then the hero party just falls apart without him.
Yeah.
And Ares is just falls, like he starts falling apart mentally. He's like, this would have been easier if Gideon was still here. No, wait, it's those two fault because they left. And it's like he just started, yeah, and like you could see the kind of break with
Ares.
With the sister. What's her
Rudy?
name? Rudy. When he tells her that her brother left or whatever, she's like, why? Why wouldn't he tell me? And he touches her, and she has like this mind thought. She's like, he did something to my brother. Literally punches a hole through this guy. And then goes over and heals him. She's like, sorry, I have a job to do. And like heals him. And you're like, Gideon was he was the shackles to this crazy chick.
Yeah. But I think, didn't she like sense that he did some foul play?
That's what she said. She's like, he did something to my brother, and so it makes her pissed, and she just freaking just punches his chest out.
And that's when she, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that when she said, I didn't hit an artery, and you are able to self-heal?
No, that's later. That's the second. That's the second time. Yeah, she was like, where she's like, you know nothing about me, and if you did hurt my brother more, I would have killed you. Yeah,
like, she's a boss.
Yeah, she is a sick. And then like, there's a lot of good, just character development for different people, or character degradation or falling with Ares.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, and then the fights were very fluid with the different scenes that you had. A lot of them actually were Rit. Like, Rit was throwing down, just like, okay, I don't want to kill these people.
Dannon.
Huh?
Dannon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a
that
scene.
Was the best fight ever.
There's a scene with this dude. He's basically like a street fighter. Like, he's using, like, flaming fists and stuff. Mm-hmm. And this dude just backhands a demon onto a wall. And he's just giving him a 3-piece combo. Like,
literally a
back
3-piece.
to back. Yeah, because he got his arm, his right hand cut off by this said demon. And he's like, yeah, because of you, I got stronger. I realized how weak my left hand was. And he just starts putting in the work. And then it's actually semi-badly animated, but it makes it even better because his body is just standing there. And his hand and his feet are just flying up and hitting the dude in the face. And me and Ace were like, I swear both his feet were off the ground at one time. He was floating, hitting this dude.
And the demon has 6 arms and can't do nothing. So it literally was like hilarious for me. I was like crying. And I was scared to like bring it up because I'm like, he's not airborne right now. And then as soon as you come in, I'm like, bro, you remember that fight?
Yeah,
and you're like,
I swear if you pause it right, both his feet are off at least twice.
So he has both feet smacking him and the fist all hitting the demon at the same time. Oh, man, that was like,
but yeah, like hilarious. I don't know. Oh, and then when Gideon, and the reason we keep saying Red, when he leaves the heroes party, he goes to this backwaters town, changes his name to Red, says he's a rank D adventurer, which is literally the lowest of the low. Like, kids can be rank D adventurers, and he changes his name to Red. And funnily enough, Rit, the one that we keep talking about, she's a fighter from this other city that he met when he was on the heroes party, and they helped save her area. Her name is what's her full name? Because you have it in front. Do they not have it?
They have it as Rit.
I have it.
Rizlet.
Yeah, Rizlet. So, but when she's adventuring, she's Rit because she doesn't. It's not like she's hiding that she's a princess, but she's just like, I'm just gonna go by Rit. So when she finally meets him, she's like, "Why Red?" And she's like, "It kind of sounds similar to Rit." He goes, "Well, I kind of thought of you, so it is kind of a rip off of that." And she's like, "Oh, you were thinking about me." And off rip, you see there's like a romance kind of going on there. And thank you, the creators of this, because it wasn't the stereotypical main character is an idiot, doesn't realize that the girl's into him. No, they realize they are into each other. And
they go for it.
Yeah, they do. The relationship blossoms over time. It doesn't feel rushed because even
organic.
Even before they meet, when he's Red, they had previous history, right? Mm-hmm. So it felt, like I said, very organic. They have struggles, like she's struggling with the fact of she thinks he might be needed for the hero party. Different hero party members come to him and they're like, "We need you." She's like, "I mean, I want to be selfish, but the fate of the world, like, aren't you going to go?" He's like, "No, I'm going to stay here with you." Like,
"No, I'm good."
And you're like, usually that'd be kind of like cheesy in anime, but
they did it well.
Yeah, because the relationship is so like genuine, you're like, I could see him saying that. Like,
and that's what I wanted to bring up earlier. He is the most realistic character, and I think that's what makes him a great main character.
Yeah,
I cannot talk today. Sorry, guys, it's been a long day.
He's very relatable.
Yes, very relatable, and that's kind of what drawn me into each episode, with just his decision making and the reasons why he was making his choices. And I'm like, bro, I support it.
Yeah, yep. And he was always saying, like, physical, even though he's very strong, right? He always was saying, like, physical strength does not make you a hero.
Right.
And, like, the one dude who always wanted to be a hero, or the champion, Albert. No. The one that was always, like, challenging him, telling him to call him Sir. I think his name was Albert.
Yeah, he kept saying lowly D rank every time you encounter. I'm like, bro, you're not even that nice.
When he finally, like, finesses him, he's like, "You have the power to be a hero. Like, why don't you do this? Yada, yada, yada." He was like, "Just because you have the power to, you don't have to." He was like, "This is perfectly fine with me. Mm-hmm. I want to be an apothecary with Rit in our little shack." And even his, like, I didn't like him, right? Albert. But his growth was good, too. Like, he didn't have a full paradigm shift, but you saw the change, right?
That last episode, he bowed down to him.
Yeah, he went from cocky, making a contract with a demon to make himself better, and then going to, like, hit rock bottom. Mm-hmm. Then he gets saved by the hero party members. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he turns into like a selfless individual, and you're like, man, even he was well written. Like,
because he defends Theodora.
Yep.
So that she doesn't get killed. He's like, hey guys, please don't do this. I want to vouch for her that she is genuine and this and this and this. And I'm like, bro, where did this come from? I mean, obviously I saw the progression.
Yeah,
but it was nice to see. It was definitely nice to see.
There was no really unlikable, well, non-expected unlikable character. Because there is certain animes where, like, maybe somebody in the crew is just kind of, like, annoying to you. Right. But outside of Ares, who was made to be annoying / an antagonist, everybody else was good. The comedy didn't feel forced. It was funny. I really
enjoyed the comedy.
I usually don't like the same joke multiple times. The sauna scenes gave me life.
Bro, the sauna scenes were funny with the goblin.
Dying. Yes. Oh my gosh, bro. He's sitting there. And you just see all this steam comes out. He's like, sure is hot. And then they all look at him. He's like, these summer days. They're like, really? These summer days? Yeah. Boy, I tell you, it's hot.
And then it passes out.
Yeah. And then like, they both, like, the elf and the goblin look at Red, and they're like, is he not going to complain or something? He's like, all right, I guess it's up to me to stop this foolishness. So he goes and heats it up. He goes, you guys good? And they're like, yeah, we're great. And then the elf passes out, and they're like, God, dude. And the next time it's the freaking goblin. They're like, whatever his name is, I think it starts with an S. They're like, Storm. And every time it got me.
No, I enjoyed the scenes in the sauna, especially even the gesture of the owner of the sauna almost getting ran out of business by the empire or whatever. That idea of making the potpourri in the sauna that's healing and smells good and like,
which shows you his knowledge, right? He knew he was quote unquote lacking, and so he tried to learn every other thing he could. So he's like, oh yeah, there's this indigenous white elf tribe deep in the forest that does this to heal themselves.
I was like, bro, he's a genius.
Yeah. And then he made medicine, cookies.
I was like, that kind of reminded me of edibles, but when I first saw
what? Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm joking, but he
put the medicine in the cookies, and he's like, now I got products that I can sell.
Because they're like, oh, the medicine is always super bitter,
right?
And he got it off of just a little thing that Rit said. She was like, you're cooking so good, you should serve food. And he's like, wait a minute,
I can put the medicine in
food. And yeah, he made it. Man, sold out in like 2 seconds. And I just like how Rit is not just a girl character. So just a quick kind of comparison, right? Asuna in Sword Art, when you first get her, like, she's a boss, right? And then she kind of just devolves into like a side girl character, like in the later seasons, right?
Yeah.
Rit, granted, this is only one season, but Rit is impactful for the whole time. She gives him new ideas. They build each other, right? Like,
she defends for him.
She does. Oh,
bro,
man.
When I saw that, I was like, I am all for you, Rit.
When, what's his name? Oh, my gosh. The one that we just talked about. Arthur? Arnold? Is it? What is his name?
Albert.
Albert. God, I'm so bad. My brain, dude. Like,
Albert.
This, just side note. Anime and real life. I will never forget a face, but don't ask me to remember your name.
I'm the same way.
But yeah, when Albert was threatening him, old girl busted through the door,
the quickness,
hit him down on the wall, and was about to kill him. And then Red's like, Rit, stop. And she stops.
Like, literally, like, maybe centimeters from his neck.
And she had murder on her mind. And she was like, Albert, Red is an important person to me. And then he walks out, and then she says it all cheerily. She was like, "We should have killed him. We could have claimed self-defense." I'm like, bruh, this girl is here for it. She said, "I'm running those hands, bruh."
She is the definition of ride or die. I was supporting it. I'm like, you know what? If you don't want to defend the world and you want to just stay with Rit, hey, do it.
Yeah, bruh. Shoot. I said that about old girl in Chivalry of Failed Knight. Get you a whatever her name is.
Oh yeah.
Get you a Rit.
Get you a Rit.
Oh my gosh, bro. She is the truth. But yeah, I mean, like it's just a well done anime. It's funny. This is probably going to be one of our shorter ones, but not because of the anime. Like the anime was great, but again, I don't want to really spoil it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying not to. I'm like, all right, how can I explain stuff without giving everything away?
So much happens while following the same timeline, and they tie them off well. Doesn't feel rushed and doesn't feel drawn out, which, funnily enough, some 12, 13 episode animes, you're like, all right.
This was rushed.
Do I really? Yeah, it's either rushed or you're like, do I really need these 2 episodes?
Right.
This could have been a 10 episode anime, right? But no, this was just really, really good.
Yeah, I definitely recommend to pay attention to the character development.
Yeah,
because you won't. I didn't really expect it, but then when you watch it, you're like, wow, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
All the questions that you will have will be answered. They still give you that cliffhanger to click to the next episode.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed everything that the anime had to offer in its entirety.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone knows when it comes to the action and the fights, that's usually my go-to. But like even the other categories were just so well done. I'm just like, yeah, I'm ready for a season 2. I don't know if they have
I don't know. I haven't researched it. But they did kind of leave it wide open for a season 2. I do know there's a manga. I don't know if there was a light novel for this.
Yes, Source is a light novel.
Okay, so Source is a light novel. So maybe. I mean, light novels definitely have multiple volumes. So they could bring it back. Because I remember when this came out, a lot of people were going on about it. So if they do bring a second season, I would be here for it. Because the growth in Rudy was really good. And she kind of comes into her own. Her friend, the assassin, was cool, but like was hilarious too.
I enjoyed the assassin girl.
I remember when she was like, Tizé, something like that. I cracked up when she like. There's a scene where like she's behind this orc and she stabs him, kills him, and she looks all demonic. She's like, "I'm Tizé from the assassin clan," and then it just switches to her driving the boat, but she's like, apparently I'm a boat pilot now. And then like she's like, Rudy's like, "I'm really happy that you're next to me. You're always calm next to me." And she's like, in her monologue, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I've made such a calm outside. My heart is going like crazy."
Yeah, I was like, funny. I enjoy her. Yeah, yep. And they made great friends. So
yes,
I don't know if they're the same age or anything, but
I think they're supposed to be right around the same age. Okay. But that camaraderie was really good too.
And another plus from T-Sage is when she saves Red's life.
Yes,
I was so shocked. Yeah. I had no idea that she was going to jump in front of that.
Yeah,
I was like,
"Yep." And what she says at that moment, you're like,
"Yeah, we gotta leave y'all some cliffhangers to go ahead and watch this."
Yeah, she's good.
Oh, bro, when who was that? Was it Ares that stepped on the spider?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, yep.
I thought the whole hero party was going to turn on him.
How that says something.
I was
when
hurt.
People care about a spider. I freaking hate spiders, bro.
Me too.
I loved Mr. Crawley Wally.
Yeah, I didn't even want to say that.
Hey, bro, nah. Mr. Crawley Wally, bro. I'm here for it.
I was like, you did not just step on Crawley Wally.
But Crawley Wally finessed him.
Right. I was like, yeah.
I'm like, go ahead. That's my spider dude, bro. Go ahead.
I was so hyped. Oh man, nah,
yeah.
that was literally.
Yeah, I was like, hey, no need for that, bro. You did not need to step on that spider.
So
bro.
if you can see the details in our conversation from, that's not even a character. That's a pet.
Freaking pet.
The love for the pet has us hype.
Yeah,
y'all need to definitely check this one
yeah,
out for sure.
No, for sure. Yeah, this was great. So,
I do want to bring up another point.
All right, what's
the
up?
female elf? I keep saying her name wrong. Yarangela.
Oh yeah, her.
Bro, at the end,
where she pops up
and she's like, "I'm gonna go pay them a visit."
Yeah,
I'm
she's like, I can't wait to see y'all. So like, you have two kind of cliffhangers. You have Rudy growing into her side, and then you have her showing back up, and
right.
you're like,
I was like,
and I like how they address that. This isn't like a harem love triangle thing, right? Because that's what what's her name, Rit, thought she was into him, and she was like, no, I'm not in love with him. She was like, high elves live longer than humans.
Yeah, so they try not to fall in love.
She was like, I do not fall in love. I made that mistake already. So, like, she already has that trauma of falling in love with a human, and she's outlived him, right? But she's like, I consider Red, well, she called him Gideon, but I consider Gideon my closest, trusted friend, and he is the one person I can ultimately trust with everything, right?
The suspense, though, that I got was Rit still not going to have... She's still going to have a problem with it. Rudy...
I don't think so.
So, I'm going to explain. So, the reason I think Rit and Rudy are going to, like, playfully have a problem with it is because, remember, they were at the shop. Mm-hmm. So, before Rudy goes save the town...
Yeah, no, the last episode.
They both grab on to Red's arms. And they're like, they do that little mean glare.
Yeah, but that's a joke.
Right.
Yeah,
but
they were joking with each other.
All three of them joking like that. And that's going to be another, like...
Yeah, but that's the thing. They don't actually dislike each other.
Right.
Or there's no, like, problem there. They were joking like there was a problem. But that's the thing. They solved that early, right?
Yeah, but I think that's... So what I'm saying is I think they're going to play on that joke.
I mean, they could.
Yeah, with Yarangela, because...
But I don't... If anything, I would be Rudy with Yandrala or whatever her name is, because if it wasn't for her, Rit wouldn't have gotten as close with Red as she did. She made Rit realize her feelings for him, and two, she was like, instead of being so awkward and sensitive about it, she was like, be playful with it.
Yeah,
and
stop being so mean.
Yeah, well, and that's what turned her into this kind of flirtsy kind of thing that she's doing with him.
Right,
and it shows that she's into him. So because they actually, if you look her up, they say that Rit has the more in the family, she has the more masculine typed personality, and Red has the more feminine personality in the sense of when they first meet. She is so, like, alpha. Like, she's like, I don't need no help from anybody.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm a boss. And then she's like, if you say, I need help, please, Miss Such and Such. And he's like, okay, I need help, Miss Such and Such. Like,
and she got shook.
Yeah, so in personality-wise, she's definitely subservient to him. Like, she likes him taking the lead or whatever. But they describe them as that, and I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I see the writing in this anime.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah, so if it's not obvious, it's gonna be a high scored one.
Oh, easy. Easy.
So out of 1 to 10, good sir, what are you rating this?
So I'm gonna come out and say my rating is a 10. Now I am shocked that the anime site that doesn't need to be disclosed rated it a 7 out of 10. I was like,
that's like Rotten Tomatoes, bro. I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. People have no brains. I'm gonna be real with you. Like I don't understand.
What did it not? What you could? I'm so flabbergasted. I can't even get the words out. I'm like, what did you not like about the anime? Like,
bro, those are the same people who rated Combatants like 8. All right,
right, exactly.
Foolishness.
And Combatants was
trash.
Yeah, it was trash. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 10 from both of us. Like, this is such a well written anime. The characters are great, action's great, World building's great. Like,
oh yeah,
it just
I even remember the princess's hometown is
yeah.
Lagervia. Like,
yeah.
like you literally pay attention to the small details and you fall in love with the whole group.
Yeah. No, this is 100% a 10. That honestly doesn't surprise me that it's rated low by randos. Like that just people don't know good things anymore. That's why we have this, right? To tell you what's trash and what's good. And if you disagree, 100% let us know. We will happily
tell you that you're wrong.
We will happily have a discussion, but yes, I am not a politically correct person, so I'm be like, yeah, nah, bro. I respect your wrong opinion. But next week we are doing another movie.
Yes.
We are going to be reviewing Bubble. Now this is
that was on Netflix. Right?
Yeah, it is a Netflix movie. Just came out. I want to say like a couple months ago. It is a free running / parkour anime. With like a mix of a fairy tale. Not going to spoil which one it is. And I believe, the wife, aka Jess, will be in on that one, so we will have a full crew. Yep. But yeah, so
and I saw the trailer.
Yeah, bro, the trailer's cool.
Fire.
Because they give you different angles, right? Like they follow him bopping, and then they go side angles. Like it's cool. Just
off the art alone, you're gonna enjoy it. I'm like, I saw literally like 10 seconds. So I'm like, I'm committed. If I didn't have to like really work, like, if I had a job where I could
these
like
damn jobs, I tell you,
I'll be like, yeah, I'm about to go watch this right now. But I have a real job, so I can't do it.
But
I'm definitely looking forward to Bubble. But check out Banished from the Heroes Party.
Yep.
Short version.
Yeah.
For sure. And tell us what you think.
Yeah, let us know. And then if you guys want to watch Bubble with us and interact on Twitter, I am always on Twitter. So if you add us or anything, we'll definitely get back to you. But yeah, let us know your recommendations, your thoughts on what we've already done, and anything else. But until then, I am CJ.
And I'm Ace.
And we will catch you next AA meeting.